Tony Pollard had one of the few splash plays for the Dallas offense last night, a 58-yard touchdown run in their 27-17 win. Dak showered praise on Pollard afterward, admiring he, quote, ran through a tackle and showed his speed. That was big and much needed at the time. Now, meanwhile, Zeke Elliott struggled again, only getting 45 yards on 13 carries with a banged-up knee. Shannon, is it time to go with Pollard over Zeke?
Skip, Zeke looked hurt last night. For the first time, I saw Zeke hobbling. He's running like he got a nail in his foot, and it's not a pretty thing. And I understand that Zeke is not the player that he once was. I've made that abundantly clear. But I still think there's a solid role for Zeke in this offense. I think now with a 2.5-game lead, Skip, you sit Zeke. You got the long break. Even Washington, I would not play him. I'm gonna because Skip, at the end of the day, it's not about winning the division. You're gonna win the division. But I believe a healthy Zeke can go a long way in helping you go further than the one game in the playoff. Let Pollard, bring somebody up from the practice squad and let them get these reps right now. Because I think when Zeke is healthy, Skip, he can give you the tough yards, soften the defense up. So now all of a sudden, Tony Pollard is that fast guy where they could be in position to tackle Zeke because he's not as fleet of foot as Tony Pollard. Now Pollard hits that seam and he's through the door. And so that's the way I believe they should play this out, Skip. We saw last night. It's not like there's some big old holes. Now, do I believe Zeke would have hit his head on the goalpost like Tony Pollard did? Absolutely not. Not on that run. But there are a lot of ones and twos and ones and no yards and -1. There's a lot of that going on, Skip, outside of the 58-yarder and the 33-yarder by C.D. Lamb.
Yep.
So with me, I would let Zeke take 2 weeks to get healthy and bring him back once he can contribute. And Zeke, look, that's in us. When you've been that guy, Skip, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Hey, I'm good. You're not good. If Zeke watches himself on film today, he's going to look and says, that's not me. I don't want to put that on tape because Jared ain't watching that. Because guess what they're going to say? Man, Zeke, just what you said, look like he's hit the wall. That's what Jared Jones, bro, your linebacker. They saw your linebacker, what he's putting on tape, and they say he hit the wall.
Yep.
And Jared loved it.
I know. Jalen Smith.
But at some point in time, Skip, you can't keep putting bad film out there now.
You cannot. So you just said that there's a solid role in this offense.
Yeah.
For the highest paid running back in football. That's what Jerry's calculating in his head.
Yes,
really?
Yes.
So we do know that late in the game, in the fourth quarter, that Zeke got the edge at one point without resistance, and he just ran out of bounds. But he did get 10 yards.
Right.
And we also know that a little bit later, he did find an open hole, little gap up the middle, and he barreled forward and sort of fell forward on his face and got 10 more yards. But we also saw 11 other plays in this game. And I'm going to ask you and our viewers to just quickly run through the 11 that went nowhere slowly, if we could, to your point. Because there's the first one. That's for 0. And then here we go with the 3-yarder. Then we got a 2-yarder here. This is hard to watch. This is hard on me. I just get beaten down by this. Then we get a 3-yarder.
Skip, it ain't no holes, Skip.
That was like a good run. That got 3. And here's a big run for Zeke. That actually, great body lead.
Man, got 2 yards.
He got 4.
Come on, man.
Here's the worst run of the night. That went for nowhere fast, -2.
Skip, I mean, look at the line. Look at it. I mean, they're playing on the other
scratches
side.
And claws. He got 4 there. And then we got a 2. It's relentlessly hard to watch. And then we end the game with a 3. He's fighting his heart out.
Yeah.
You know, he's just playing his guts out. And he got 3 there. Doesn't have a lot of burst. Doesn't have a lot of quickness. He'll fight you.
Yeah.
He'll run through brick walls, but he's hit the brick wall. So there we have it.
That might be the problem. You ran through the brick wall one too many times.
I just gave you 11 runs for a grand total of 25 yards. That's 2.3 yards per carry. It's just not good enough.
Right.
And I see lightning strike with number 20 as opposed to 21 because Tony Pollard has a gear of quickness, obviously a gear of speed that Zeke no longer has.
Yeah, but Skip, if you look at it, he had 6 carries for 13 yards.
Other than his one lightning strike. And if we could just quickly see the 58-yarder, because this happens every once in a while. Yeah. If you'll give him enough touches.
DeMario, don't go.
But
Mario don't go underneath that.
And he doesn't look like he's running that fast. And then Marcus Williams thinks, I got him. I don't want him to cut back on me. I don't want him to cut back. And all of a sudden he says, he just outran me to the flag.
Yeah.
Huh?
If I play him, I'm a strider. He doesn't look like a guy that can stop and start.
No.
So I'm going to play him. I'm not going to play him to cut back. I'm just going to go to him.
That's not like effortless, long-striding Eric Dickerson Memorial kind of running. It's like, it's just like cartoonish feet, but he moves.
Right.
He goes. He's like a bigger Kyler Murray to
Right.
me, but he goes 6 feet, 2.
Right.
10-ish. So he can run it between the tackles. And I'm with you. If you sit Zeke, I'm fine with that. At Washington, just let's see what Tony Pollard can do. Maybe he'll have some none-yard runs, as John Madden used to say, but he might just get loose a couple times.
Skip, and you're talking about Tony Pollard, okay? Outside of that long run, he went for 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 5.
6 for 13. I got it. But he can give you that.
Yes.
And Zeke can't give you that.
Zeke ain't going to give you that, but Zeke's going to give you that 3rd and 2.
Yep.
He'll probably going to get you the first. He's going to lean forward and get you the first down. That hard yard to get. There's a role. You talk about there's a role for a guy that's making $15 million.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find something for him to do.
All right. Well, I'll pay him to sit at Washington, and I'm fine with that.
2 weeks, Skip. Give him 2 weeks.
Yeah, just get a little fresher.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
All right, sticking with Dallas, should Mike McCarthy be worried after Dan Quinn led the Shannon, did you like or have a problem with how Micah was used last night?
Well, I've been telling Skip, I said, Skip, you're jumping for joy by getting all these guys back. Now somebody's gonna have to be on the bench, and somebody's gonna have to be playing a position that they're not used to playing. Because when you get Randy Gregory back, and you get D-Law came back last night, and Michael Parsons, everybody can't play defensive end and can't rush the quarterback. Somebody's gonna have to drop in coverage. When you drop Michael Parsons in coverage, you're not using him to what he's good at. Yeah, he can drop and break up a pass here or there. But I would much rather have him closer to the quarterback than down the field. Same thing with Randy Gregory. So for me, yes, I would like to see him rush probably 85, 90% of the time. If you want to give him a break, switch it up, sure, let him have cook the flat. Okay, fine. But nah, I want his hand in the dirt more times than not, Skip. I want him to be like Derek Thomas. I want him to be like Von Miller. I want him going to get the quarterback because that's something he's good in pass coverage. He's great at attacking the quarterback.
Thank you.
And so guys that are great, I want them to do what they're great at. Because what do we talk about all the time? I want to put my guys in position where they can have success. Well, Michael Parsons can have way more success getting after the quarterback than intercepting the football.
Yep.
That's Trayvon Diggs. You handle that back there. I got this up here. Every time I get on the plane, Skip, I looking at the pilots. I say, y'all handle this up here? I got everything back here. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Hey, get me up, get me down safe, and I promise you will have no interruptions on this flight. I can't promise you got another connection somewhere, but I got you back here. Well, Michael Parsons said, look here. Hey, y'all handle that back there. We got this up here. So, Skip, I agree. He has not exceeded expectations because if you watch this guy, if you know anything about football and you watch him, it's true to form. This is who he is. This is what he is. It took a while for him to realize Tampa, they had him trying to drop in coverage and dropping the hook to flat, and they have him up the seam. Man, let's put this joker, man, put his hand in the dirt and let's get after the quarterback. And once they found out he could do that at an elite level, that's what they should let him do. Do that at an elite level.
So, last night, watching my TV, way down in the flats, the Beverly Hills flats, you're way up there in the Bel Air Palace that you live in. Watching my TV drove me crazier and crazier and crazier. And Ernestine finally knocked on the door and said, why are you screaming? You're winning. I'm screaming at the way they're not using Micah Parsons. He is a very special football player. He is 11 from heaven.
Right.
You saw him coming. I liked him, but I hadn't seen him for a whole year because he took the year off because of COVID, so he didn't play.
Right.
He opted out in the 2020 season, right? And he fell into their laps in the draft because they wanted Patrick Surtain. And I still would be happy with him because he is coming on like crazy
He's legit. Yeah, he's going to be a legit player.
Legit Pro Bowler for the next 10, 12. I'm knocking on wood for him.
Yeah.
However long he can stay healthy, he's going to make Pro Bowls. So I would have been very happy with that. Maybe J.C. Horn will be just as good when he gets healthy. But the point is, this young man has changed how we play defense. in my defensive staff or my head coach or my owner and operator, Jerry Jones, all together, the quote-unquote brain trust or brainless trust occasionally, they're out-thinking themselves. They're out-cuting themselves. They're trying to say, hey, NFL, watch what we do with our new toy.
How many different ways we can use it.
Watch what we can do. Oh, you think Taysom Hill runs 4.4? We got a guy just as big and maybe faster than Taysom Hill. So about half the time last night, Micah would line up at inside backer and just stand and watch Taysom Hill. He would just watch and he would spy and he would mirror. Going to go this way, going to go that way. What a waste of talent.
Right.
What a waste of time. Again, I don't keep score of this, but it felt like only about